Alright, so I'm James Gordon from the Ottawa Citizen, and joining me today to talk about some of the Ottawa Senators prospects is Binghamton Senators head coach Kurt Kleinendorst. And Coach, thanks for taking the time today. Welcome. Just wanted to ask you about a few guys who've seen some time in Ottawa and may see a lot more time next season. And I guess we'll start with Bobby Butler, first of all, a guy who's made a big impression.
He's done a nice job. I mean, the thing that stands out about Bobby for me is he's just one of those guys that he's got the raw ability to score goals. He shoots the puck very well, but I hate making comparisons, and I'm not comparing him to Brett Hull. But you know what? Brett Hull was that guy that could just always find a way to get open somewhere. And then, when he got the puck, it wasn't on his stick very long before it was at the net. And I think Bobby's a little bit like that. But at the end of the day, he's a goal scorer. I think he always has been, and probably always will be.
A guy we talked about before, who a lot of people talk about down here for his work ethic, is Colin Green. Tell me about the impression he's left on you this season.
Colin, he's impressed me tremendously. I mean, he's a player that from day one, you just got a feeling that this was somebody that was going to make the commitment. And the one thing that I do from day one is try to challenge these guys to be the best pro that they can be, and I think he's embraced it. He's early to the rink. He's the last guy to leave the ice. He's always in the gym lifting weights. I mean, he's really done every little thing that he could possibly do to help make himself a better hockey player, and the benefits are obvious right now. He's playing very well.
Another guy who's had some success in Ottawa this year is Eric Condra, and I think someone in Ottawa compared him to another Chris Kelly. Tell me about his game a little.
Character, for sure. Character, tremendous hockey sense, thinks the game very well, bright kid, both on the ice and away from the rink. Size is not going to be the reason that he gets to the NHL, but it's not going to be the reason that he doesn't stick. You know what I mean? Like, he's just a very intelligent player, and he's made a lot of progress this year. He's made as much progress, I would say, as any player that we've had.
You haven't seen too much of Robin Leonard this year, but obviously a very confident kid, and thinks he'll succeed here. So, I mean, from what you've seen so far, do you see the talent there? And
of course, one of my mentors says that sometimes your biggest strengths can be your biggest weaknesses. And I think with Robin, that's a little bit of the case. He's got a tremendous amount of confidence, which is a good thing for sure, but sometimes he doesn't have a great filter, and he's a young hockey player, and as he matures and as he develops, he's going to get to be a better goaltender, but he's also going to learn, maybe to a certain extent, how to filter. And I know media people don't like to filter, they just want raw words, but I think with Robin, one of the challenges will be that we help him find something in the middle. You know what I mean? Because we all know that the confidence is important, but at the same time, you don't want to give your opponents ammunition either.
Right. And he ran into that this year, didn't he, in Glens Falls?
He did, and again, he's young, and we understand that, but at the same time, I always say we don't sweep dirt under the rug. We got to help him become better, not just between the pipes, but what he does away from the pipes as well, and how he handles the media and the way he approaches life in general. But at 19, again, we can have certain expectations, but we have to be a little bit careful that we don't set it too high.
Can you give a quick summary of Patrick Weirkosh's season? Heard it didn't go as smoothly as everyone thought at the start, but he's kind of turning the corner.
You know what, though? I just feel like with Patty, there maybe were some false expectations created, and I don't know where they came from, but I do know that I'm new to the organization, and I came to my first training camp, and I like to, during the afternoon, sit down and read what you guys write, and I'll tell you, some of the expectations and some of the words that were coming out at the time were probably a little bit unfair to Patty, and I think he will be a player at some point, but I think, again, like Robin, he's young, and physically is probably going to be his biggest challenge. Because Patty, again, is a player, and I think I maybe mentioned this to the other day, if we put a puck out there, and I have Patty Weirkosh and I have David Hale, David Hale's going to look at that puck and he's going to think about, how do I play defensively? Patty's going to think, what can I do with that thing offensively? So we don't have to really do a whole lot with Patty, and we regarding to his puck skills and the way he thinks the game, because he thinks the game very well offensively. He just has to get stronger, and I think he's made a lot of progress on the defensive side.